All right, today we're going to talk about something really powerful, how you can actually start earning dollars online from pretty much anywhere you happen to be. We're going to cut right through all the noise and get straight to a real strategy.
Look, this isn't some kind of fantasy. It's what's happening right now. Real people are tapping into stronger currencies using the gadgets they already have. This has nothing to do with luck. It's about a massive shift in how we think about work and value.
And yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It all sounds amazing, but figuring out that first step can feel, well, impossible. And honestly, that one question, how do I even start, is the wall that stops most people. So let's tear that wall down. But before we get to the solution, we really need to get our heads around the real problem we're trying to solve here. This isn't just about making more money. It's about protecting the value of the money you're already making. I mean, so many of us know this feeling, right? You're doing everything you're supposed to. You work hard, you try to save, but it feels like you're on a treadmill. You're putting in all this effort, but your actual buying power just isn't going up. Sometimes it even goes down.
So this means we have to start thinking differently. Earning in a stable currency like the US dollar isn't just some nice-to-have luxury anymore. For a lot of people, it's become a critical way to protect yourself financially from things like inflation or an unstable local economy.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the part you've been waiting for, the how. We're going to walk through a super simple 5-step blueprint that seriously anyone can follow to get started.
So here's our roadmap. First, we'll tackle a crucial mindset shift. Then we'll dive into how to pick a skill, where to actually find the paying clients, and finally, how to start small and grow using the stuff you already have. Let's do it.
All right, step 2, picking a skill. The most important thing here is to not get paralyzed. Just look at these examples: writing, design, video editing. These are real skills that businesses right now are paying good money for. You don't need to be the world's #1 expert to begin. You just need to be good enough to get that first job.
Now listen, this is probably the single most important piece of advice for any beginner. Forget about making $1,000. Your entire mission, your only goal, should be to get your first client. Why? Because that first dollar isn't about the money. It's the proof. It's the moment that completely rewires your brain about what's actually possible. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's make this real. Let's walk through a quick story so you can see exactly how this plays out in the real world. So, imagine somebody decides they're going to learn video editing. For the first week, all they do is watch tutorials and just practice. A few days later, they make a few sample videos. Now, notice this key detail. It took them 20 applications just to land one tiny $10 job. That's the hustle. But that one small gig led to more work, and within a month, boom, they hit their first $100.
And that is the secret. So many people give up because they don't see huge results right away. But the ones who make it, they understand that momentum is built on small wins. You stack one small win on top of another, and that's how you build confidence.
It all starts with something as small as $10. That $10 proves one thing. Hey, this is real. This actually works. And then maybe it becomes 50. Now you're building a little bit of a track record. You're getting better. You're getting faster.
And then you hit 100. At this point, the game has completely changed. You've proven the whole system to yourself. Now it's not a question of if it works, it's just a question of scaling up.
Now, a super quick but really vital point. Just having the skill isn't quite enough. You have to think about your positioning. How do you present yourself? Is your profile professional? How do you talk to potential clients? Remember, people aren't just paying for your video editing. They're paying for someone they can trust, someone who's reliable. Get that right, and you're already way ahead of the competition. So we've got the skills. We've got the strategy. But there's one last piece of the puzzle. And to be honest, it's the most important piece of all. It's time for a little reality check on your mindset. Right now, as you're listening to this, there are two kinds of people. There's the watcher, who feels motivated for a minute, gets all excited, and then does absolutely nothing. And then there's the doer, who takes that feeling and turns it into action. You have to ask yourself, right now, which one are you going to be? I mean, that's really the bottom line, isn't it? You have the knowledge now, you have the blueprint, but knowing stuff doesn't change anything. The only thing that creates change is execution. It's doing the work. So, let's make this happen. Let's turn this from just something you watched into something you do. Your personal challenge starts the second this is over. You know, the easiest thing in the world is to just let the algorithm serve you the next video. Just keep scrolling. I'm challenging you to break that habit. Just this once.
Commit to taking one single, tangible step forward. So what does that one step look like for you? Maybe it's officially deciding on one skill from that list we showed earlier. Maybe it's going to YouTube and watching your very first tutorial on it. Or maybe it's just opening up a document and creating one little sample of your work. Decide on your one step, right now. Because that one small step is what gets you to this moment. And earning your first dollar online, wow, it's about so much more than just a dollar. It's a fundamental shift in your identity. It's the proof that you can show up and compete in the global economy, all on your own terms. And trust me, that changes absolutely everything.